Hey guys, welcome to Mr. Wriggler's Pocket Monster. Dodgy name, I know, because I love it. I love it. I love the creepy little smirk that Mr. Wriggler has. And I went on a 15-game win streak last night with Buzzwole. So I wanted to talk about it, a little bit about the deck, how it's played, some of the games that I recorded. But before I move on, I want to talk about what we do on this page, on this channel. What is it? What is Mr. Wriggler's Pocket Monster? I don't even know. All I know is that I love this game and I love to create. And I don't necessarily have the best tools. I don't necessarily know what I'm doing, but I just want to be able just to bring fun stuff and bring whoever's keen along. So with that being said, this video today is really going to touch on the Buzzwole exhibition games in Master Rank. We played against some of the best players in the world, and we beat them. And just one more thing before I start, I need to pay respect to the GOATs at the moment. There are some content creators out there that are absolutely crushing it, and specifically one comes to mind who coincidentally, or not so much, depending on how you look at it, also posted a Buzzwole deck this morning. His name is SoulServe, aka Judy. If you're looking for a channel that really goes in depth with what is good in ranked, specifically ranked, competitive play, his channel is just blowing up at the moment. He's a born entertainer, number one. He's really funny, but he is also genuinely one of the best pocket players in the world. So go check his page out. His channel is definitely one to follow if you are in the rank space. Mine is going to be more kind of all over the place. I'm going to be posting memes, some little hints, tips, secrets around rank, just some creative decks, some YouTube decks, as Judy says. But yeah, I mean, I'm here just to have fun. And even though there is no objective, leaving a like or subscribe would really help this page grow, and I would really appreciate that, man. I just want to have fun. Let's just have fun together, guys. All right, let's get into some games. All right. So I thought I'd start off with this one because it's so common. It's everywhere, right? You'll find it in all of the levels. You're going to find it in Ultra Ball 1, Ultra Ball 2. I'm sure the bots are playing it in Pokeball level. But it's this Silvally Rampardos deck. And what is the biggest problem against it? Going first against this flippin' deck, man. Because what can happen, they can just on curve smack you for 120 damage and pretty much just start deleting things in front of them, right? So this game, I decided to post this one first because it's so prevalent, right, in the meta right now. And alright, so let's just jump into where we are right now. I went first, it went second, it's starting to do 100 damage. Oh dear, what do we do? You can see they've got the skull fossil. That's a nightmare. It's only a matter of time before that stupidly ridiculous card Rampardos comes online and again just starts deleting us. We do pick up a second Buzzwole. We start charging the other one. We know that, okay, yeah, perfect time to Mars. We've got, even though they've got a single point, so it reduces their hand down to 2. And yeah, we promoted the Celesteela because it's very unlikely that they have the Skull Fossil into Rampardos, which would be able to take out the Celesteela. The Celesteela can tank a hit from Silvally. That's what's important, why we still build up at the back. Alright, we've got a Lusamine, we've got 2 in fact, and we also, again, not so much in threat of a Mars now that we've reduced their hand. We punish them for not kind of playing their hand out in the beginning if they had any at all. Alright, so now we want to beef up our Mosquito Boy. I like to kind of put them in this position. One's kind of looks like he's punching the left and the other one's looks like he's punching the right. I did a video where they look like Vegeta and Goku like fusion dancing. Here you can see, and yeah, I mean, now we can just start dishing out the 120 damage. Right, they do have a point, so this is really important to consider when you're playing this Buzzwole deck. It is like, how many points can you afford to lose? So I can't lose an EX. I can't let a Buzzwole die. There's some games where you can let a Buzzwole die as long as you follow it up with another Buzzwole. So one EX after the other EX. Most of the times you're going to want to sacrifice, or at least one of the other simple basic Pokemon are going to go down, lose an energy with it, which will help you charge your Buzzwole with the Lusamine. But in some games it's just not actually worth it. So anyways, we get our Celesteela knocked out, which is not good news, and we can't we do have the Repel. Now why is the Repel so good was because a lot of what the decks that we were playing were a lot of basic Pokemon. What we're seeing now is a bit of an adaptation. We're seeing some developments in the meta where they aren't so much basic Pokemon, so maybe Repel doesn't necessarily have the same spot as it did yesterday, but so that card can maybe be changeable to something else. But yeah, we actually pick up a win here because no matter what he did, he was going to get knocked out. Like, we could have just followed up with another Buzzwole at 140 HP, and unless he had a Cyrus and Rampardos, he's just not going to win there. Alright, so there's our 15 game win streak. We can jump into the next one. So this game was a funny ass game, man. I can look back at it and I just have to laugh. But I'll give you some context. It lasted less than 3 turns, I believe. So we don't necessarily have the best start, Buzzwole, against fighting. So we're probably up against a type null. Whoa! Oh, it's just a Riolu. Just kidding. Yeah, so I was pretty confused when I saw this. I hadn't seen many Riolus up until this point. But even though, despite my hand being absolute garbage, the Repel in my hand was what was going to, in my mind, slow the game down enough for me to start, getting momentum. Unfortunately, we picked up the worst second card, which was the other Buzzwole. But yeah, so I wanted to use the Repel just to get some momentum, put the Marshadow in, because he's not going to put the Skull Fossil in unless he has the Rampardos. But if he puts the Marshadow in, he put the Skull Fossil in. Oh my god. Okay, so that means he has Rampardos, but it doesn't matter, I have 140 HP, so it should be fine. I can just tank it, even if he does have a Rampardos, which is very unlikely, right? I mean, it's a second turn. Okay, so that's another Riley. That's a Rampardos, and I am terrified. But it doesn't matter, because this is what my plan is. I've got another Buzzwole in hand and another Lusamine. So I can charge the Buzzwole, take the hit, then punch it with my Buzzwole for effective damage, then get knocked out while I have my other one down, but I'll be able to Lusamine all that energy back onto the other one and then KO it. Tank the hit for the Marshadow and then still be able to clean up because he has no more cards left in his deck. All I would need to do is continuously redraw for another basic or another Celesteela or whatever the case is and actually win the game. Yeah, that was disgusting. It was the game that destroyed my 15 win streak. As you can tell, I was shocked. I was mortified. I still am. I look back at this and I feel physically ill. But yeah, we can jump into the next one. Hope you enjoyed that one. Right, so this one is a mirror matchup. And what is interesting was seeing how people were adapting in Master Rank in real time versus the mirror matches. And what people were doing was including rookie helmets. Luckily, I pick up a Guzma, I pick up a fairly decent hand. I've got flipping 20 cards in my hand, so I'm looking to dump it, but also don't want to be locked by having 2 of my Buzzwoles on the board. It's just almost never a good idea, unless you have like as 2 Celesteelas or something. But yeah, we've got a Kartana, and what he's doing is very interesting because he's holding onto his cards. He doesn't want to drop his hand yet because he's afraid of Mars or whatever, and I'm desperately looking for a red card. In fact, I'm actually thinking about Marsing his hand now. So you can see I'm quite undecided. I did decide to do the Professor Research, which gives me a Pokeball and an Eric, I believe, yep. And I was really hoping for the red card, man. I was praying, but it didn't happen. But what they're doing is very interesting. So they're building up their Celesteela. Okay, now I can dump. I can dump my hand because I'm very worried about their red card. And what they're doing is really smart. They basically are building the Celesteela. They definitely have a Lusamine in their hand, so that the moment they knock out the single prize point, they can Lusamine that energy back onto the Buzzwole. Now, if I had a rare card, I would foil their plans completely. And no matter what happens next turn, I am almost 100% going to be dropping a Mars. Because they, as I said, they've got their Buzzwole in their hand. I have already seen through their line. Luckily, they missed out on that 100 damage because it would have been essentially for free. So let's give them a Mars. Take 3 cards, you nerd. Feels good, man. So now we can get our Buzzwole into action, right? Because we've reduced their hand, so we're not too worried about that specific combination that we were concerned about, which is Buzzwole Lusamine, and we can just start pumping them. So they lose the point. Let's see what they do. Alright, let's just do some editing. Boom, they placed down their Buzzwole and then their Pokeball. What's interesting is they didn't place down their other basic and they put an energy. No, just joking, they did. It's a Katana, but they did put the other energy on their Buzzwole. Alright, so they're moving the Katana into place, storing that energy because they don't have the Lusamine because we did Mars them to the face. And alright, so we pick up our Lusamine, thank God, because that was the one card we needed. And we can just basically do the tech where we put Katana in for a single energy, retreat them out, and then use Celesteela's ability. It's a pretty neat little combination. I really want to take this opportunity to say this is why you run 2 Lusamines. Well, one of the reasons why you run 2 Lusamines. Such a great card, so important for this deck. You really need to strategize your energy placements, how many are in the discard pile, if you get a KO, when you get the KO. These guys were trying to strategically get the Celesteela to get KO'd with the energy, so it went to the discard pile so they could start using Lusamine more liberally. But again, we just punished them early with our Mars. So that Mars literally won us the game. We can do the exact same tech with Katana. And the reason why we don't mind losing a Buzzwole here, even if they put down another one with another Celesteela, right, is because they got no points on the board, and we can afford to lose all 3 of those energies because we have a Lusamine, which would immediately charge up our other Buzzwole. This is what I meant earlier about placing your Buzzwole. It's okay for it to die as long as you have another Buzzwole and another Lusamine that can follow it up. You can't lose a basic and then a Buzzwole. You can lose a Buzzwole and then put in another Buzzwole. This is another reason why we didn't attack with Katana. Yep, so this will pretty much lock it up for us with this Lusamine. I swear, these guys, they're ready to concede. Their finger was over the concede button. They knew it was happening. But yeah, let's go on to the next one. So we're going first this time, and we're against fighting, which is very likely the Rampardos deck. But it isn't actually. It's another Riolu, which again, we saw a bit of last night. And I'm not too sure if it's going to be prevalent this morning or today, but it's definitely something I wanted to highlight because it was quite common last night. So we started off with Pheromosa. We drew to we got a Pokeball, and one key card that I really rated earlier on was the Repel, especially to have it in the beginning. You can play it alongside supporter cards and just disrupt their whole game. I've had a game where they put both Skull Fossils on the board with the Riolu, and I repelled them, and I was able to hit both Skull Fossils with Pheromosa, and they just conceded because they couldn't evolve into a Rampardos with either, and they would have lost 2 points the next turn. So really, really helpful card. That was just a fringe example of like the best case scenario. But yeah, we got two massively disruptive cards here, item cards, which you can use 2 in a turn. But again, sometimes, you know, you're going to get these cards later in the game. But yeah, we use our Celesteela just to tank that first hit. It's always just a good strategy to have. And we have no other choice but to start dishing out 20 with our Pheromosa, who's still full HP. Even if they evolve into a Lucario, that's going to do 60 damage. There's no ways they're going to knock us out. So that's exactly what happens. They evolve into a Lucario and they hit us for 60 in the face. And would you look at that, we get the exact card that we need. We are about to lose the Pheromosa. We have a Lucamine in our hand, which means that if it dies, we can Lucamine and we'll be able to get the third energy up for Buzzwole to knock out this silly little karate dog. So that's what we do. They do have a few cards in their hand, which I'm wondering what it is. It's certainly not, I mean, it could be a Skull Fossil, right? Because they didn't want to place it down because of the Pheromosa being able to attack it because they didn't have the pieces. Alright, so I edited a little bit because they took quite a while, but they researched and they managed to put a pretty impressive bench now. Regardless, we're still sticking with the line and we have the Repel. So Marshadow being a basic means that if I promote it, I can essentially take out the Skull Fossil, but I will have to take another 100 to the face because it will count as a KO, which will trigger the revenge. So this is something to consider, right? Do I risk that they have a fossil and a candy and a Rampardos, which will be terrible for us? Regardless, we put the Celesteela up. So we can charge, we can just take time to think, and that's exactly what we do. We pick up a really nice card, which is the Leaf Cape. So yeah, that goes on immediately. And yeah, we can Celesteela for our 3 energies as planned. But we really have to think about how we want to approach moving forward. We don't have another basic, which means that we can't do the old retreat tactic. So this is a bit tricky, right? How are we going to navigate? We don't want to take 2 100 damage hits in a row. So the gamble, or according to the odds, because they only have 2 cards in their hand, would be to bet that they don't have the fossil, rare candy, and Rampardos. But there's still so much to consider. I'm a point down. If I lose this Buzzwole, I lose the game. So this is going to be 100 to the face. And we have to evaluate what we do. Alright, so this is a great card. I mean, what does it do for us, really? Okay, well, we can survive a hit. We can't retreat and attack. That is out of the question. So, what do we do? I think about this for a long time and I end up promoting my Celesteela because I do not want to take the hit to the face because I want this other Buzzwole to be able to pretty much sweep even if there's a Rampardos up. I really need them not to have Cyrus. Like, if they have Cyrus, it's GG's. So I repel them, so they either have to evolve, or this gives me time to build my other Buzzwole. yeah, I'd like to know what you guys would have done. I personally believe that this was the safest play, considering like a few moves ahead. So this thing is just stuck in the front. We put the energy on Ryodu, and we get another turn to place our energy. Alright, we get a Mars, and you know what's gonna happen. I mean, just take 2 cards, you nerd. And we still don't have enough to have the damage to sweep. And even if they do Rampardos here, oh, they get the Professor, which is, they've got 8 cards left. Very likely that they have the pieces for the Rampardos. But guess what? If they've got the Rampardos, we've now saved enough time that our Buzzwole has enough damage to sweep. And it's the full HP one, not the one of the 70 HP, the one on the left. So they do get the rare candy, but we are prepared. Our plan has worked. We have now got the Buzzwole that has 140 HP on 3 energy. And because it's just taken a KO, which we can afford to give, it's just minus its HP and we can promote this guy. And guess what? There's nothing that they can do other than Osiris. Which just, by the way, and Erica just came from the heavens and blessed us. Just to save us, because now there's nothing that they can do. Even if with Osiris they can't kill us. So that Erica, super clutch. I don't even know if it was needed, but our plan really came together. It was a game of navigation. I don't know if I took an unnecessary line, but it was, for me, the safest one. And an interesting game that I wanted to showcase. I think we get the concede here now. But, yeah, fun one. Let me know what you guys think. Hope you guys enjoyed. On to the next one. Alright, on to the next one. So, this was an interesting game. This was against a Oricorio Silvally, which was a little bit common. I'm not too sure what it is like now. Let me know also if you're seeing this particular combo come up in your games. But I know it was a bit of a combo splash into trying to defeat the Buzzwoles or the Solgallos, or, you know, whatever sort of EX Pokemon they were. Silvally is just such a powerful card. Alright, so we start off with a semi-decent hand. The Katana is, I think, underrated. A lot of people, especially in this matchup against Oricorios. So we're going to just Mars him. There's no real other decision. I am very scared of a Silvally, so anything to mitigate that chance, even if it's by 1 card, is huge. If they had a Gladion in their hand, it was a +1 to their chances. So let's just remove any sort of equity that they have and pulling a card that can sweep us, because we're not going to be able to kill it in 2 turns like we normally would, because it's just put a cape on. So Mars, and yeah, they've placed down that really cool promotion card. I mean, that artwork is sick. Let me know what your favorite artwork is in the comments also. I'm just basically baiting for comments now, aren't I? Anyways, right, we just take a Gentleman's 20, and it's our turn. We can now deploy our units, which this kind of bothered me because I placed the Buzzwole on the wrong side. You know how I like my Vegeta and my Goku. That is not the right way, Carl. I mean, Mr. Wriggler. So yeah, we switch, and we now have an energy in the discard pile, which is pretty important because we have 2 Lucinians, and we can start chipping away at the Oricorio. Now, we're really preying on no Silvally. If they do Silvally, we have to promote the Katana, and it will look very dismal to us. But thank God we dodged it, and now we can continue with our plan, which is not to swap, not to do anything, but just to get that Oricorio in range for a Cyrus Katana. Okay. So we can Cyrus it up and we can hit it for the 40 damage from Katana. So I was thinking about, but we stick with the line and we decide to, I think about it, but we stick with the line and we hit the Oricorio, so now it is in range. They used a Pokemon Center leader, you can see it in the discard pile. They probably don't have a Shaman. I think they played on a basic now, which wasn't a Silvally. But regardless, they are, okay, yeah, there's the other basic, which is another Oricorio, which makes things very, very tricky for us. Remember, we do run a Repel in our deck, so that is also very important. We have a Celesteela that we run on our deck that we can also Lucamine so that we can flip for 100 damage. That's also another great way of beating an Oricorio with this deck. Right, so we promote our big mosquito boy and we can knock this guy out. Professors, which is great, but we're not going to use it now. We're going to focus on the Lucamine. Remember, we discarded an energy from our retreat. We're keeping track on that, and then we can drop this guy and place some free energy on him. Okay, so we've basically lost no energy through the wonderful support card of Lucamine, and we can take out the biggest threat, which is the Silvally. Now we've got the Cyrus and the Oricorio, which guarantees us a kill. We can't do any damage to this Oricorio right now. A Repel won't help us. The line, we don't really want to delete 2 energies to manually retreat, but we will if we have to. So they're going to pull up another type null, and right, I believe it's our turn to draw. And what a draw it was. We've got the Professor, we've got the Cyrus that we can use for the Oricorio, we've got the Celesteela that we can retreat to Lucamine to get the 100 damage swing. But yeah, let's go with our originally planned line, which was to take out the Oricorio. And we can use the free retreat now. We don't have to burn through energy. We can use the free retreat. And ideal, the first prize would be to get the Repel. We've got the Professor's Research. We don't have many cards left on our deck. Most games you're going to be drawing 50 to 60% of your deck. So, sometimes you got to draw to your order outs. But regardless, we still have a line to win, which would be the Celesteela to knock out the... So we just take this point, which is really, really important for us. Having 2 Oricorios on the board means it's really impossible for our Buzzwole to do any damage. So we would have to rely on the Katana, but now it's going to get KO'd by the Oricorio because it does 50, and they just have so many Pokemon. I get why they run 2 of those things, because ideally they want it to start with it, but yeah, maybe a bit too splashy. Right, we can go for the Celesteela. I would have assumed I'll put the Celesteela up, but we pick up the Repel, which is a GG. I think, oh my god, this is B. I'm a B. Oh, I'm toxic. I'm so toxic, dude. This is so unnecessary. I could have just shown them the Repel and they would have given up. Dude, can you report people? Just report me. Leave a like if you would have done it yourself. Jeez, I'm really baiting out the engagement on this one. But right, that was a fun one, interesting one. Let me know how you would have done it and we can call it there. Listen guys, I just want to thank you. If you've made it to this part of the video, man, God bless you. I hope you get 10 guard packs in your next one pull. And if you've made it, maybe leave a subscribe, maybe leave a like, maybe leave a comment. Talk to me about if you've got any ideas for content, if you want to see any particular decks and ranked, if you're looking for any assistance. What I was thinking about was playing on my alts and the Ultra Bowl ranks to see what decks are being played, and those ranks to really kind of try and experiment more liberally and find a very good performing deck. That's the problem with this meta right now, is that a lot of decks are performing equally as well, but I think because of the high number of different decks in the lower ranks, that it might be somewhat difficult to find a deck that consistently wins. So I'm going to leave you guys there. Again, thank you so much. This has been really fun. Again, this channel is meant to be fun. I'm going to be doing serious stuff like the rank, the deck strategy guides, and all that stuff, but there's going to be other fun stuff. You can see the background, like little Dragon Ball Z edit that I did. But yeah, I mean, in terms of what we're trying to do here, the goal is to have fun. And if you play this game for fun, I think this could be a cool channel for you. But yeah, really appreciate any support, any likes, subscribes. Those help a lot. And I'll see you guys soon. Tomorrow. Alright, have a good one out there. God pack for all of you. Mr. Wriggler out. Sorry.